Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Dirt Green Steel. So this morning, we're at Hensler's Christmas tree farm, and we're putting in some wire to run all of the new irrigation systems and wells. The irrigation company was going to put this in with their trencher, but their trencher broke down Friday, and they haven't been able to get parts for it. So I said, well, I'll go ahead and I'll trench your wire in, and you don't have to worry about it. So if I would have known, I would have probably brought my 24-inch bucket instead of my 48 for the wire. But that's okay. It's not going to hurt. Just moving a little extra dirt, that's all. So we got Dad helping me put wire in, and we've also got a new guy, Nate. He's a fan of the channel, and he's good friends with Dad's strength, and we were looking for a little extra help for putting this wire in, or pipe and wire in, and he said that he was available, so he's here helping us. So we got some extra help and a new face on the channel. Oh, I just caught that fence post in my counterweight. Oh well. So I got limited space to work with here. That's why it doesn't look the prettiest. Not much room to put my dirt. And I'm only going about 24 inches deep. This wire doesn't have to be as deep as the pipe, and plus they don't plan on doing any deep tillage around here because it's a Christmas tree farm, so they're not worried about it being super deep. I just don't want to bury the little trees. Forward a little bit, clean that up. That'll work. Okay, so I'm gonna keep digging. I got to get dug around this tree. There's a lot of obstructions I got to dig around. That tree's not going to be fun. Luckily, I've got a little dick here, so if this hose is too big, I can go grab a little dick. So I'm going to keep digging and get this wire in. Well, I got to the tree with the 200 and couldn't dig no more because it's just too tight of an area. So I'm going to walk down and get a little dick down here. So these are all freshly planted little trees. They're seedlings. And that is one of the new irrigation systems there, and then there's a new one right there. So all this pipe and wire is going to feed these two irrigations from the well back there where the truck's sitting. So there's going to be a T here. Well, that T actually goes on this side of the road, or path right here. That T will feed that irrigation, and we're going to run a main line from the truck all the way through here down to there, and that will tee off and it'll feed the irrigation system back there, and then all this will be hooked up so that it will feed their greenhouse with water also from one well. So it's a pretty complicated setup, a lot of pipe, a lot of connections, but nothing we ain't never done before, so we'll get her done. So we get a little dick here and get tracked up there and get that rest of that wire in, and then we'll probably go to lunch because it is about that time. I didn't realize what time it was by the time I started the video. I'm like, oh, it's almost lunchtime. So it's mid-morning basically. So let's get down there and do some digging. Okay, so we're going to get started digging here with a little dig. Got to recalibrate myself because little dick moves different. move different, he just different speeds because different geometry of the boom and stick. This maple tree is going to be a pain in the butt to get around. Must be some sacred tree or something that they're leaving. Must have a cat buried under it or something like that, I don't know. Once I get past this tree, I'll get back in the 200 and we'll really go to town on it. But should have brought a pole saw. Now I know a lot of operators are probably watching. They're probably like, "Why is he using his hands to track?" That's just not right. A lot of operators frown on that. Well, Little Dick don't have track pedals, so you have to use your hands. I don't know why he doesn't have track pedals, but he just doesn't have them. There's our tree root. What? Oh, Dad's string's yelling at me. So, this video is going to be more than a one-part video because we probably, I don't know how far we'll get today. We might get some pipe laid out, we'll see. But, we got to dig to the well yet, or get this wire there, and it's already almost noon, so. And we just moved in this morning, so we had the time of moving everything. Probably gonna finish killing this maple tree off by digging through the roots, but hey, this is where they wanted the wire to go. This is where it's gonna go. And it might not kill it. Might be okay. So I didn't show you in the video, but farther down from where Little Dick was sitting, there's actually a lot more little saplings growing. We'll show those later. A lot of cute little trees. Little cute Christmas trees. There's some good sized roots down there. Little Dick don't rip roots like the 200 does. But I think Little Dick's only 16,000 pounds and the 200's 40,000, so he's not going to. This wire we're using is pretty interesting. It's got a gel inside of it. So if the coating gets nicked, the gel comes out and it seals the coating back up. So if it was to get like accidentally cut on like a sharp edge of like the trailer or a rock or something like that, it'll seal itself back up and it will protect itself, which is kind of cool. We've never buried wire like this. It's like, I guess, new technology they've got for direct burial wire. So it's just kind of something different to play with. I'm gonna cut off some of it and play with it and see how it works, just out of curiosity. There are a lot of roots right here. Oh, we'll get rid of them. I have to get Dad's new handy dandy cordless steel chainsaw out and nip them off. There's one thing about Little Dick, he bobs around a lot on his undercarriage. And I think it's because of them street pads. A couple guys asked me about these street pads and what I thought about them. Well, sometimes they're wonderful, other times I just don't like them. That's plenty deep through there. I'm glad that we're done with planting season now, because I can sit here and dig and not worry about if ground conditions are right and if I should be planting instead of digging. It's just kind of nice to only have to worry about one task now for a while. It's kind of a stress relief, or a weight off my shoulders. I wish I had some more to plant though. Oh, that's okay. Got a lot of other things I want to get done. Well, I'm gonna have to move the 200 out of the way. In fact, I can probably start digging with it again. So I'm gonna move it over there and start digging that away. I'm gonna dig this back a little farther and then use the 200 for the rest. Okay, now we can get back in the big hoe and do some digging. I brought the trench all the way up to here. I gotta stay off the edge of their driveway. They don't want to dig up the driveway. Let's start back in Little Dick's trench and we'll start digging. Bring our wire up and around and head to the well. This sand is so dry. We need rain bad. Well, we're about to make it rain. But it'd be nice to get some natural rain. But this is the kind of ground that Christmas trees love. They thrive in this. It's been a Christmas tree farm for years, as long as I can remember. Hensler's Nursery. You'll have to check it out. They have a Christmas deal every year. They've got some reindeer. They have antique tractors. They got all kinds of cool stuff. So it's a really magical place to come during Christmas. Take the kids, take the girlfriend, take the wife. Check them out on Christmas. They're right here in Hamlet, Indiana, right off of Highway 30. Or, I suppose you call that a highway. the reindeer are pretty cool to see. If you've never seen a reindeer before, you should come out and see one. And I think they have some other animals, like some little ponies and stuff like that too. I can't remember, it's been a while. But I know you can come here and you can cut your own Christmas tree, or they have already pre-cut trees. Find some arrowheads or Indian artifacts out here in this sand. You're probably saying, oh, that trench isn't very straight. Well, it really doesn't matter for the wire. I'm just trying to follow the edge of the driveway, and I'm trying to stay away from the rows of little trees over here so that I'm not getting in their roots, so I don't want to kill them, because the little Christmas trees are the money makers. Like the maple tree, that's really not one of their money makers, but the Christmas trees out here are like growing any other crop. You know, it's definitely worth something. It's got a value to it. There was effort put into growing it. It's just not a tree that grew on its own. These are all planted. They were all started from seedlings. This is kind of the thinner area of them. When we get farther to the south of where we're at's where it really starts into really thick, dense rows of little Christmas trees. It's pretty cool. Just row after row, just like cornfield, but they're trees. Okay, I'm gonna keep digging. Well, we got back from lunch after getting our wire put in, and we decided to come to the farthest irrigation system, which is that one. That's the first one we're going to start with, because our pipe needs to be bells towards the wells. So that means we got to start at the irrigation, start a length of pipe, and head the bell towards the water source. So in order to do that, we had to bring everything down here, and we're going to start there, and we're going to work back this way. So these are the baby trees that the irrigation's going to water. This is just one patch of them. There are actually a couple other patches through here. So this is what they look like when they're just seedlings. They're not really that big. Some of them about a foot tall maybe. But all different varieties of Christmas trees. I don't know exactly what all of them are. It's kind of cool though to see them all growing in rows like this. But what they'll do is they'll come, I guess they'll dig these up and then they'll spread them out farther so that they can grow bigger. Because these trees all grow up to be like, I think, 6 to 8 feet tall in this patch. But as you can see, there's quite a few adult ones here already. The ones that didn't get cut last year for Christmas, they just get to grow a little bit taller. And they'll be ready for next Christmas. So, in some of this, I don't know. I don't know the exact details of how Christmas tree farming works. I'm just kind of looking at it and thinking about how I would do it, which those trees look like by next Christmas they'll be ready to go to your house and get decorated and be a Christmas tree, and then just get thrown out and burnt in bonfire. That's what I gather from it anyways. I have an artificial tree, so mine, I just use the same tree every year. But anyways, I'm going to walk down and get my truck, because we need some tools out of it to start down here to make our connections. We got to put an elbow in and some other fittings in, and then we'll be able to take off bearing pipe after we pull out some wire and lay out some pipe. So I gotta walk all the way back down there to get my truck. So I'm gonna go get it and we'll get back at it. So I actually asked a few questions and got some education on Christmas tree growing. So these little guys, these little seedlings right here, these were actually started in a greenhouse. They lived for 3 years in a greenhouse, and now they are 4 years old, and this is their first year outside in the elements. So these little trees are 4 years old. That's 4 years of growth on them. It takes 11 full years to get a mature Christmas tree. I'm not sure if those are mature or not. I should have asked that question. But these are going to grow for 11 years, and then they'll be cut. So it's a crop that takes a while, you know, compared to corn and soybeans that, you know, we've got 112-day corn, 108-day corn, 105-day corn. Compared to that, you know, a growing season or growing lifespan is 11 years. That's a long time. But when you're as large as this place, you've always got trees in rotation. So they've got full-grown trees, and they've got middle-aged trees. So they've got such a huge area here that they have a plenty of rotation of trees to sell every year for Christmas. So it's kind of cool. It really is cool. It's not kind of cool, it is cool. So we're just laying out materials today. We've got our first control wire put out. So this wire actually runs out to the pivot box and basically tells the pivot what the well's doing and all that. So the next wire that we're laying out right now, which is on the trailer down there, is the actual power wire for the pivot. So that's a much bigger wire. This wire isn't very big at all, but that wire's a lot bigger. So another thing I got to do is we're going to be digging up some pipe and actually reusing it, which isn't uncommon. You can reuse this pipe as long as the gaskets are good. So there's a hydrant. Every set of utility poles along here, there's a hydrant. So there's a 600-foot run of pipe along here that I'm going to have to dig out and take apart and salvage, because we're going to need that since there is such a pipe shortage this year. We're going to have to reuse some. So yeah, this pipe has been ridiculously going up in price. It went from like $2.50 a foot to like $5 a foot now. So yeah, just like the lumber shortage and all that. I don't really think we have any shortage of anything. I just think politicians are jacking the prices up on stuff. So anyways, we're going to get everything laid out, and that'll be it for today. We got a couple other projects back home we're going to go do, and we're one fitting short down there. If you can see where the truck is with the trailer behind it, the 200 sitting there, we're actually going to go over from that pivot pad over to where the truck's at and then come up here so that we don't have to disturb the trees. We don't want to disturb them because of how long it takes them to actually grow. So whatever it takes, we're staying out of the trees, which is going to be a few more fittings and a little more pipe and a little more wire, but it keeps us out of the trees. So we're short that fitting yet tonight, and we'll get that in the morning, and then we'll be able to run all this pipe. So that'll be it for today after we lay all this out. Well, we're throwing the pipe off now. Once we get this done, we're done for tonight. It's Nate's first time throwing pipe. He's pretty excited. I'm just walking along and scooting it over a little bit. So anyways, I think we're going to end this episode right here. So if you enjoyed this episode of Dirt Rain Steel, give me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. Share it if you want to. I'd appreciate that. So anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. We'll be laying some pipe tomorrow. Be Nate's first time laying pipe, so he's pretty excited about that too. So hopefully we'll have a good day, get this run all in, and get started on the next one, and get these little guys some water, because they're really needing it. You can see how dry and dusty it is. It's pretty dry out here. We need some rain in general. Okay, I'll see y'all in the next one.